Guys, Kenny Wisdom here, and we're going to be playing in one of the Pokemon trading card game online tournaments. Today we are going to be battling our Night Ray, and he's going to take a mulligan. Alright, looks pretty standard. We're going to start with our Yveltal EX. Yes, we would like to take the mulligan draw. He's on the play with a Deoxys. Based on the hand he showed us, and the Deoxys, he's probably playing Plasma. Excuse me. Plasma's a deck you don't see a whole lot anymore. I think Enhanced Hammer getting reprinted, and a lot of the decks just being, excuse me, so much more uh, aggressive than Plasma. For instance, we have, or sorry, not aggressive, but just controlling. The fact that we have Seismitoad to shut down Plasma. You know, they can't play their Plasma Balls, they can't play their Colorless Machines, they can't play Escape Ropes or Switch or Hypnotoxic Laser. There's so many things that just kind of make Plasma a bad call for the metagame. And let's go ahead. I think that's going to be relevant. So let's go ahead and just Ultra Ball like this. We're going to get a Seismitoad, in fact. Play the Seismitoad, Shadow Circle, and unfortunately I think we just have to... Yeah, I think we're just going to have to Juniper. It's unfortunate to discard these Lysanders, but we can get him back with Future versus Seekers, hopefully. No energy. That's not the best place to be. Let's play these guys. No real reason to play the Keldeo, I don't think. We don't want to power up a Colress for him or something like that. And also, the Keldeo might be surprised if he is relying on potential lasers, as we saw two in his opening hand. And there's a Rainbow Energy. And there's the Colress Machine. And there's a Juniper. Alright, let's see what he discarded, because actually be important. And switch Colress Water. So yeah, getting rid of two supporters is pretty nice. And there's the Verbank. There's a laser. Yeah, so he's a pretty good start. I mean, Deoxys isn't where you really want to be as far as attackers go, but having the turn one attack plus the laser, Verbank, etc. is really, can't complain too much about that. So what do we do here? Let's see. I think our first step is to Enhanced Hammer this away. And then I think we can just safely Max Potion. Attach and I'm not sure if attaching there is actually correct, because we'd really like to fire off a Quaking Punch this turn, but I'm just assuming that we wouldn't get it, which we wouldn't have, for what that's worth. Spiritomb seems fine. And Cantax, let's go ahead and ship the turn back, taking 10. And at this point, we're just hoping, we're just going to let him do whatever. Next turn, we're likely going to retreat into Seismitoad, depending on what happens. Junipering. Discarding actually a lot of resources. Two Colorless Machines, a Juniper, and N. I don't mind saying that. This Plasma deck is very aggressive, but it doesn't look like he's going to be winning the game very quickly. So it's definitely possible that he can just get rid of too many resources, and even if he gets ahead, an N from us to low amount of cards can hurt him. Not getting hit with or not falling asleep there is very nice for us. And he ships the turn back. So yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and attach. Before we retreat, we'll Shauna just to draw some cards, see what we have. I don't think we're gonna Max Potion here. I'd much rather be able to stall with Seismitoad for a few turns and Max Potion, and also having energy on this Yveltal is going to come in handy later in the game. So we're going to go ahead and Quaking Punch for 30. 4 cards in hand. I think he's used 3 Junipers, so He might actually be pretty low on resources at this point. Yeah, 3 Junipers, 2 Anacolorites. Obviously, he has gonna have some supporters left, but it's definitely not the place you want to be with 6 prizes left on turn 3 or 4. These Pokemon online tournaments are pretty interesting. I talked recently about the Combi phenomenon, how I think that Pokemon Online needs to implement more tournaments and more reasons for actually uh, for letting people win, right? Because the idea with Combi is that people get rewarded for just playing, so they just want to play the quickest, most efficient way possible, and that's not really in line with the competitive spirit. Looks like we won. Speaking of not really in line with the competitive spirit, but so I'm really glad, Combi's becoming a problem. It's turning people away from the game, and I'm really glad that they've introduced these tournaments at the right time to say, hey, we want to encourage people to win. We want to make sure that people are playing the game fairly and that we are incentivizing them in the right ways. Because at the end of the day, it's not really the player's fault. The game has set up. Pokemon Online has said, if you play, you get prizes, and so the players who are using the Combi decks or whatever, it's not really their fault for gaming the system. But that was round one, so hopefully we'll have a more interesting round next round, and I'll see you then.